Hello everyone, this is the Limitless Librarian at 4 something or other AM. With the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie just released, and with me being a huge Hunger Games fan, I thought this would be a good topical time to do a book recommendation video. My first long form video since becoming officially the Limitless Librarian. My idea was to recommend one book for each of the 13 districts in Panem. If you're a Hunger Games fan, you'll know that each district has a particular industry that they specialise in. For example, Katniss's home of District 12 specialises in coal mining. So I chose one book for every industry, for each district, to fit that theme. So without further ado, let's start with District 1. Their theme is luxury, and have the perfect book for that. It's called The Lux by Anna Godberson. I will confess I have not read this yet, but this seemed like a perfect book for a district focused on luxury. The synopsis reads, imagine, if you will, New York City, 1899. Society's elite, the glamour, the grandeur, the glittering parties, the most handsome beaux, the most beautiful debutantes, the rich girl, the humble boy, the forbidden love, the stolen glances, the whispers, the scandal, the mystery, the revenge. So this is the first in a series. I haven't read it. I want to read it. But that seemed like a good fit for District 1, which is one of the wealthier districts in Panem, and is focused on luxury. Next, District 2. Their focus is on masonry, and earlier I read this absolutely amazing book, Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth, which is, in short, a 1,000-page epic about building a church. And it's amazing. Way more amazing than you would expect a book about building a church to be. It does come with some major trigger warnings, and as I said, it's 1,000 pages, which is going to scare some people off right off the bat. However, it does fit that theme well with exploration of how the church is built, all the different structures, how they hire all the different types of craftspeople to build it. And it also sort of fits in with District 2's secondary industry of weapons making and producing soldiers like the peacekeepers, because we have 11th century England, there are wars going on. Yeah, this is the book that I thought best fit that theme, at least that I'm familiar with. District 3, their industry is technology, and as a sci-fi reader there are a few things that I could have gone with that, but what I went with was The Complete Robot by Isaac Asimov. If you've never heard of Asimov, you may be familiar with the 3 laws of robotics. He is the one who came up with those. And this book contains all of his robot stories. It's a bunch of short stories, plus there's a novella, The Bicentennial Man, that's famous. I believe there's a movie of it. But I think this one represents technology well, because it's all sci-fi, it's robots, different types of robots doing different types of things, being used for different types of things. Some sort of set in the future. It seemed to fit that theme well. District 4's industry is fishing, and for this one I chose Percy Jackson, which is a book that you might, or a series I should say, that you have probably heard of. It's a YA/middle grade series focused on Greek mythology, and how this ties into District 4's fishing is that the main character, Percy Jackson, is, bit of a spoiler, but not really because it's revealed in the first book, he is the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. And so he has a lot of water powers, he goes underwater in certain scenes in the series. That was the best fit I could find for that theme. Also, Finnick from Catching Fire, he uses a trident, which is the symbol and signature weapon of Poseidon, so I thought that would fit. District 5's industry is power and electricity. From this one I chose Edison and the Electric Chair by Mark Essig. Sorry, I've forgotten to say the authors of the This one and the last one was Rick Royal, and this one's Mark Essig. Another one I haven't read yet, but this is a non-fiction story or non-fiction book about Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, George Westinghouse, the War of the Currents, the development of AC and DC power systems. Makes sense as to why that would fit. So we're at District 6. Their industry is transportation and... District 6 industry of transportation, and I chose for this one Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Sorry, brain fart there. This is another 1,000+ page book, so not for the faint of heart. And my first ever video on this channel was a review of it. Why I chose this one for District 6 was because one of the main characters, Dagny Taggart, runs a railroad company, and so we see that in the book and how that runs. And also another minor reason why this fits District 6 is because it is said that District 6 is one of the more rebellious districts, and sort of rebelling against the way society is a bit of a theme in this book. So this is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. District 7's industry is lumber, so trees, and I didn't really have a lot of books about trees. So the best I come up with was Enid Blyton's Magic Faraway Tree. I believe this is the second one. I think the first one is The Folk of the Faraway Tree, but it's kind of a kiddie book about a bunch of magical people who live in a tree. Sorry, I couldn't come up with anything better than that. I don't read a lot of books about trees. District 8's industry is textiles, and for this one I chose The Tea Ladies by Amanda Hampson. Amanda Hampson. This one I read earlier this year, and this is about a lady who serves tea in a fashion clothing factory in 1960s Sydney. So we see the factory, we see all the people who work on it, who design clothes and clothing lines. It's not the main focus of the book, but it is the setting, so that was the best book that I had that would fit the theme of textiles for District 8. District 9. This one was the hardest one to pick because District 9's theme is grain production. Grain production! What was I going to do with that? Well, I looked through my TBR because after looking through all of my book log of read books, couldn't find anything, and I stumbled across this, Burnham Wood by Eleanor Cation, not sure, because reading the synopsis it mentions Burnham Wood, a guerrilla gardening collective that plants crops wherever no one will notice. So planting crops, grain production, that made sense. That was definitely the weirdest district theme to find a book that fit the theme for. District 10. Their industry is livestock, and this one was a bit hard. The only book that I had that really focused on farm animals was Animal Farm by George Orwell, which is kind of strange because the animals on the farm rebel against work and being slaughtered for humans, which I guess is kind of appropriate for the Hunger Games because, the overall story is a rebellion. So there's that. And as a bonus, I have the graphic novel version, if that's more your thing. District 11. In a similar vein to the previous two, their theme is agriculture in general. And so for this one, I picked Great Working Horse Stories by Angela Good. This is a collection of true anecdotes from Australians in the days when people travel by horse and cart and used horses for farm work and stuff. So it's not all about farm work, but there are little stories about how horses were used on farms and stuff. So that seemed like the best fit for District 11. District 12, I've got a bit of an odd one for this one. District 12's industry is coal mining, as I said before. And again, I don't really have a lot of books about coal mining. What I do have is The Slightly Alarming Tale of the Whispering Wars by Jacqueline Moriarty, which is kind of a magical, another kid's sort of middle grade book, but particularly in the second half we learn about the evil kingdom. They have these mines that people are forced to work in, and there's an uprising there. So that sort of fit with District 12 and the whole fact that, well, there's an uprising in Panem. That was the best that I could do. And last but not least, District 13. Their industry, before it got destroyed by the capital, was nuclear weapons. And although I don't have any dystopia books where nuclear fallout happened, I do have this book, The Passage by Justin Cronin, another long one, like 950 pages, where we have an apocalypse due to basically vampire zombie type virus breaking out, and like District 13, the remnants kind of collect in secret hidden places and get together. There are also later in the series, because this is the first in a trilogy, we see these kind of military compounds that are a bit like District 13. So this seemed like the best bit. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you can find some good books here that you haven't read yet, haven't heard of before. Maybe take one of those Hunger Games What District Would You Be From quizzes and pick a book based on that if you're looking for something to read, or yeah, whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching. Have a good day or night, and may the odds be ever in your favour.